Good Sunday morning, brothers and sisters. On Andy Wood's prophecy update, he had on a guest, Randall Price, and they covered questions about the war in Israel. I got a chance to meet Randall Price at a conference. He specializes in biblical archaeology, and he's also a professor at Liberty University. On Brannon's program with Andy Woods the other day, they gave a short summary of the questions that were asked of Randall Price. So I wanted to share that clip with you here. I think they do a good job summarizing some of the common questions that people have had since the war in Israel started in October of 2023. And then I will include the link for the full prophecy update show that Brannon and Andy did in the description page. As always, God bless and Maranatha.
Of Dr. Randall Price, Zionism. Let's go do a quick review on this. What is Zionism?
Well, Zionism is basically the belief that the Jews have a right to return to their ancient homeland. And as they are there in their ancient homeland, they are there biblically. God put them there. God bequeathed that land to them. And Aaron touched on it. They are there legally. He quoted Alan Dershowitz. There are no specific laws being broken, either domestically or internationally. Jacques-Paul Gaultier, another scholar I'll make people aware of, in his 20-year dissertation, a Canadian lawyer that he did at the University of Geneva, reached the same conclusion. In other words, you can say whatever you want about the Jewish people, but here's one thing you can't say. They're doing something illegal. So a Zionist is someone who believes Israel has a claim to that ancient homeland from God, and even beyond that from the laws that currently exist.
And then let's go to the next one. Jews living in Israel, are they biblical Jews? Because we know that's the lie that a lot of people are spreading right now.
Yeah, and that's if you advance the slides one, you'll see the quote from Stu Peters, basically trying to drive a wedge between modern Jews living in the land of Israel and ancient Jews. And this kind of taps into something that the three of us talked about, me, you, and Tommy Ice on one of your recent broadcasts, the so-called Khazar theory, trying to argue that the Jews living in the land of Israel aren't really Jews. And that's been debunked many times over. I'll give you a name here, Bennett Greenspan, who's an expert in the area of genes, genetics. He says that argument has been totally disproved. Not only can you identify the Jews living in the land of Israel as the physical descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you can also identify them right down to the right tribe. They know who the Levites are. They know who the Kohanites are. Cohen is the Hebrew word for priest, etc. So all of this talk by Stu Peters has been disproven a long time ago.
Yeah, very, very, very troubling at a spiritual level as well. How about this next one? Israel as the oppressor. Well, that's what we see going on right now at the International Criminal Court. They're involved in genocide, says South Africa, who is known for killing Christians. Scores of white Christian farmers being killed, tortured, and kept alive deliberately for days so they can torture them, rape their wives, film it, and then put a Bible on their dead body to denote they just killed a Christian. That South Africa, who has made a hero out of terrorist, racist Nelson Mandela, they have the audacity to accuse Israel. Again, psychological projection. That's the red of the red-green axis, the Marxist side of the red-green axis, the red being the Marxist, the green being the Islamist. So here we go. Israel as the oppressor? Really?
Well, it's a joke because in 2005, Israel is the one that gave that area back, as a free autonomous area to the people of Gaza. I mean, what kind of oppressor would do that? And of course, that was in 2005. They had one and only one election at that point. They elected the Gazans, Hamas. And they turned that beautiful area of Gaza, which was, when you see photos of it beforehand, it's almost like a resort, elite resort, beach resort, hotels, beautiful area. they turned it into a war zone with all of their tunnels of terror, and they've used those to launch attacks into Israel proper, not the least of which is what started October the 7th. So, that it doesn't fit the definition of what an oppressor is. Israel relinquished the area, and her enemies took over the area and have used that to attack Israel. So, who is oppressing who? And unfortunately, these facts are not brought out, and people are taught today that Israel is oppressing the Gazans.
Hamas, what is their true agenda? That's next on our list of things here on our conversation. Dr. Woods?
Yeah, Hamas, boy, that's an interesting word there. The Hebrew word for violence is Hamas. Most people don't know that. So it's an organization named after violence. And there's a few slides I have there related to the actual constitution, charter, if you will, of Hamas, where they clearly say that their agenda is the eradication of Israel.
Which is genocide.
Which is genocide. And even in that picture there, you've got there on the screen, Palestine will be free from the river to the sea. That's from the Jordan to the Mediterranean. What's in between? Israel. That doesn't sound like coexistence to me. That sounds like an ambition for eradication.
Yep. And here's one. Hamas's leaders. Dream come true. Slaughter of Israeli civilians. And we have another one, by the way, today out at Memory, where, again, they're calling for the murder of Jews. And, by the way, where is this coming from? Well, Madison, Wisconsin. We come back, we'll share that with you. This rhetoric is coming out of Madison, Wisconsin. Do you think we need to fear Christians, Christian Zionists, our Jewish friends, our Messianic Jewish friends?